this is expiratory and inspiratory strength can become compromised with Parkinson's disease. So having a bigger voice, having the ability to push that air out of your lungs means you might be able to expel food that might be lodged or drink that might be lodged in your throat. So there's functionality behind all of this stuff. And of course the happiness and fun is just woven in because we just like to be silly.
One of my favorite parts of Rocksteady, coaches, we could chime in a little bit. Who does the assessments? Is there someone in here that does? That doesn't count.
Yep.
Yes. So when someone first comes through the door, they're pretty broken down usually. Some people come in and they're like, I'm ready to fight, let's go. But a lot of folks are in a place where, they're not sure. They have to reevaluate, their health and future. And what happens in a short amount of time is that their perception of what they're able to do starts to change. And once you can take the fear out of this situation, you're halfway there. And you can find out what's possible. And to be able to witness that as a coach is it's empowering. It's a gift to us to see you guys reclaiming your lives and find out what is possible, changing perceptions of chronic illness. That's huge and it's powerful.
So the Rocksteady method, we are very fortunate nowadays. If you are somebody that has Parkinson's disease, you really don't have a good excuse not to work out because we've got all kinds of great programs out there. The Tai Chi for Parkinson's, Dance for Parkinson's. There are Rocksteady boxings popping up all over the place. Delay the disease. There's Power for Parkinson's, and some of these might be familiar to you. But there are programs everywhere, finally, which is awesome. What makes Rocksteady a little bit different is the boxing. That's kind of our niche. That's what kind of grabs people's attention. So we're using a boxing style regimen as the foundation of our program. So every day that you come into a class, you're going to recognize some type of boxing training, which all happens to have its own little reason that it's helping certain symptoms. But also we have the functional fitness aspects, or helping people with their activities of daily living. Everything is done in intense circuit-based training, which, if you're familiar with the fitness industry, HIIT training is another, or high intensity interval training is another really popular thing in the fitness industry right now, where you're getting your heart rate up, you're working hard for a short burst, and then you're resting, and you're going back up, then you're resting. That's traditionally how fighters train. It's like we're training for an actual boxing match. We're pushing people beyond their perceived limits. So that's what we call a tough love way. We're yelling and we're screaming to get people fired up, but we never force anybody to do something that's not comfortable for them. We're yelling and we're screaming and we're being loud and wild because that kind of motivates people. And I know that my coach would when he would get in my face, I know that I could bust out a lot more energy just because somebody was pushing me. So we want to respect people as athletes, but we do it in a very loving and fun way.
Didn't he used to follow you in a van when you did your 4-mile runs?
Yes. Yeah, no, I mean, I think we all respond better when we have teammates and when we have coaches. It's one thing to go out and, I might think I'm going to go run 3 miles right now. But if you get tired halfway through, you start walking and you kind of give up, turn around. But if you got your coach in a van beeping the horn at you when you're slowing down, that's motivating. Working out with your friends, there's a lot of competitiveness, but it's very healthy competitiveness. Everybody next to you is pushing you and encouraging you, and that's really important.
I didn't see any of that this morning with you guys. So there's a lot more to Rocksteady than just boxing, and we spend a lot of time talking to people about that. Many years ago, when we were talking about growing this program, designing training camps, doing the online training, we thought, well, maybe we should take the boxing part out of it because it might turn some people away, especially the medical community. But it seems to be what gets people's attention. And if we wouldn't have left boxing in the name, we wouldn't have had world news show up on our doorstep when we were 1 year in. So we left boxing in there because it causes conversation, and it's a cool thing to talk about when grandma or grandpa is boxing. So you have components. You have the social component, you have medication, you have exercise. These are really important to manage Parkinson's. But when you start finding out what medication allows you to have the best workout, because you're working with your neurologist, you're talking to your friends about what's new on the horizon, who are the best neurologists in town, you're socializing with people in your classes about, hey, you're functioning really well, who's your neurologist? So all these components together allow you to get the best treatment, the best functioning, and the best friends. Some of my best friends, well, most of my best friends now have Parkinson's, and didn't used to be that way. When you get a diagnosis of chronic illness, for whatever reason, your social circle kind of changes. Not everybody understands this diagnosis and the management of it. But now, she and I can both say, and we made t-shirts actually, that all my best friends have Parkinson's. And it's true.
And that's one of the things that we're really proud of Rocksteady, and it's in all the community, all the Rocksteadies in the Rocksteady community. We are pretty tightly interwoven with one another and woven into the medical community, trying to learn from other organizations that are doing similar things. Everybody's kind of sharing ideas right now with what's best for Parkinson's disease management. So this is kind of a hybrid organization of a lot of good ideas, and now we have the benefit of learning from other coaches, where it was just Indianapolis 10 years ago. Now we've got these amazing coaches that come from their own backgrounds and their own experiences and their own credentials, and everybody sharing with everybody and just making each other better. So we're really excited for the growth of Rocksteady Boxing, and we're so proud of any exercise program that's dedicating themselves to the fight against Parkinson's disease, because you guys deserve it. We think that, unfortunately, Parkinson's disease has really good taste. It's some of the best people that we've met in the world have been diagnosed with this disease. But we want to encourage you, if you're not already involved, to get connected to this team and get the help you need. Even the care partners, your family, friends, this is a community for everybody. Especially the care partners. You know, you guys have been diagnosed with Parkinson's as well. You need to be connecting to the other care partners and the other families so that you can have the socialization, you can get the best treatment for you, for your hearts. So if you're not involved, we're telling on you. All right, well, we're going to show just one quick video. This is, we get a lot of people who are interested in learning how to do Rocksteady Boxing, so we created an online training if anybody's interested, and I think several of the coaches here have done the online training and done the in-person training. So this is just a little fire-up video. If you're somebody that is interested in volunteering for your local Rocksteady, your staff here, this is an option that you can choose to go to. This is a road you can go down.
Family, our affiliate coaches know firsthand teaching a Rocksteady class is not a one-man job. In a response to the tremendous growth of our program, head coaches at Rocksteady headquarters have spent 2 years developing a comprehensive online training program that will make available all of our basic training methods and processes to existing Rocksteady affiliates and certify additional Rocksteady coaches. We celebrate the unique personalities of our coaches and encourage self-expression and creativity in each Rocksteady program. We at headquarters would like to thank you for continuing the fight against Parkinson's and providing quality coaches to help maintain the high caliber of coaching that Rocksteady has become known for around the nation and around the world.
Are you ready to Rocksteady?
Let's go.
I want everything you've got. Rocksteady!
We have awesome coaches. I want you guys to give them a round of applause. Are we okay on time for maybe open the floor to some Q&A?
Just a couple.
Couple minutes? Does anybody have any questions or want a little bit more information or understanding about anything we've talked about today? What then? You got it all.
You'll have questions later.
They will, they'll find you later.
Yeah.
On your off days, rock steady, what are the complementary exercises?
Very good question. We are big fans
Did
of.
everyone,
Oh,
did everyone hear the question?
No.
On the off days, when you're not boxing at Rocksteady, what is a good complementary exercise to do on a day when you're not here?
One of the things that has been very helpful for people are yoga classes, and there are usually adaptive yoga programs in most of these communities also. It's a great complement to this high intensity type exercise to make sure that your body is staying fluid.
And your coaches, knowing you and knowing the curriculum that they're giving you, probably could make recommendations, having done the assessment, knowing if cardiovascular exercise is what you need in particular. Everyone's needs are pretty highly individualized. Communicate with your coaches about those issues. But we do recommend to a lot of our members that they do some type of cardiovascular exercise, because we're not going to spend a lot of time doing prolonged exercise on a recumbent bike or an elliptical or a treadmill, because we want to do the boxing part when you're here and maximize your opportunity to do that.
Tai Chi, dance, aqua aerobics, there are lots of good programs out there.
But you have to enjoy it, or you're not going to do it.
Rocksteady is intended to be pretty intense. I mean, those of you that are in the program, I saw your coach today. It's an intense program, so doing this 5, 6, 7 days a week is not recommended. We usually tell people about 2 to 4 days per week, and then a lot of people are doing walking and yoga and things like that on their off days. So very good question. Stay active as much as you can every day, though. Did somebody else have a question? I'll let you guys do.
Partially overlap with.
What's that? Are you worn out from this morning?
Partially overlap with.
Oh, she had you on
It's
the
River
focus
Vale.
mitts this morning. That's right.
Yeah.
You were going hard.
Good job. Got some good athletes. Yeah. I think, is this working? Do you have?
So Ezra's setting up a little surprise for us, a very short surprise. We actually created this little surprise for this evening's program, but some of you may not be there this evening, so we're going to share a surprise with you. So while he's getting that set, Tom has a little presentation for our guests.
Well, we now have 2 new members of our family. And this is
Official bag.
as the boxers know, this is our bag. So welcome to our family. Thank you. These 2, we are so lucky, and these are little chargers for your phones. We are so lucky to have them here. I don't know, we've been on the phone for a month, back and forth, you coming, aren't you coming? And I'm gonna tell on these 2, they were gonna give up their own time to come here. And that's how special they were. But then they got approval. So we're so grateful to have them. They are a great resource for us. One final thing I'd like to do, coaches,
Yes,
please stand up.
All our coaches.
All our coaches.